fun and Sunday best.
Yeah, it is our last of the series. I know, but we've jam-packed it with loads of entertainment this morning. Yes!
Joining us today is a man who's used to getting up early in the mornings and interrogating people, but now it's our turn to interrogate him. It's only Piers Morgan.
And on my side are two people that are always bursting with energy. It's diversity dance duo and all-round top lads. It's Jordan, Banjo and Perri, Kiely, everyone!
Cross rocketing from the crowd, it's the superhero super vet, Noel Fitzpatrick.
Yes! Hello, Noel. And our final guest today is not only a global pop star, but also one of the funniest people on Twitter. Sorry, Piers. It is music sensation James Blunt! Yes! Now, as always, the clown's providing us with content as well as guests throughout the show, and it's kickstarting us off with a music question. What was number one on this day back in 1998? And 1998, think where we were. It's the World Cup in France, right? David Beckham getting sent off, all of that. But what was the number one record just a couple of months later? OK? I'm going to actually, Piers, I'm going to go to you.
What was number one in 1998?
November 1998.
It's a difficult one. You've got to picture where you were. That's the only way I do it.
98, the World Cup. I'm thinking about it. I'm going to think maybe... I'm thinking Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson.
That's a good shout.
That's a good
covers
shout.
about
Do I have to say what the song was?
Yeah, you can if you want. I mean, I'll still give it to you if you get Michael Jackson.
I'm thinking Michael Jackson. I don't know why.
Michael
I've got a
Jackson.
funny feeling he had a big 98.
OK, all right. Boys, what do you reckon?
It's not Dua Lipa, is it? I'm thinking 98. You've got to remember where you was.
Yeah.
Where were you? So I'm going to say... So Michael Jackson. I mean, it could be. I'm just gonna chuck it out there. I'm gonna say Michael Jackson.
Yeah. Perri? Go on, push the boat out. What do you reckon?
Steps.
Steps. All right, not a bad shout.
That's a good shout.
Not a bad shout.
If you get that right, I'm gonna leave. I can feel it in my bones.
All right, I'm going to go. I reckon it's U2. I reckon it's Desire.
Oh.
U2, Desire. Okay,
Yeah, it's out there for me.
The answer actually is Share with Believe.
Wow.
Oh yeah, obviously.
Oh, mate, this is a banger back in the day, though.
Good song.
But listen, the reason why I bring it up is, did you know that Cher has never actually been inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which I actually think is pretty bad. Much to her fans' annoyance as well. I did actually want to know, though, is there any accolade or award that you guys kind of deserve that you should have had but never got? Who should I start with? Piers?
Well, I've been cruelly overlooked by Her Majesty. If she's watching, and she probably is, if she knows I'm on, she'll be watching. It's not too late, Your Majesty. I'll take anything at this stage. Anything. So yeah, that would be nice.
That's
and
it.
I also think, you know, an Oscar is long overdue.
Yeah.
So does that count as an award? It probably does.
it does. Yeah, that's
I do dream of just getting an Oscar and being on that stage and just looking down at thousands of very, very angry faces.
Jordan, Perri, what about you guys?
It would have been nice to win Dancing on Ice. So
Is that the one? Dancing on Ice?
Yeah, that would have been lovely. But Joe Swash.
Why don't you two explain why you won Britain's Got Talent?
Because there was a very, very smart man who was on the panel called Simon Cowell, and he really saw something in us.
Because I was actually a judge. I was a judge that year, and it's a great tribute question because everybody assumes Susan Boyle won, and in fact she came second. She went on to sell 28 million albums, so it's all relative. But she actually lost in the final to these boys, and it's been great to watch what you've done.
We've still got a career off the back of that, so it's good. Thanks, Susan. Cheers.
But Jordan, what would your thing be? What would you have...
I mean, I've done a lot in my life, but my biggest thing I'll probably say is 20 nuggets, 19 seconds. You know, I really put them bad boys away. So that's what I want.
Dad, what about you?
I'd have to say the one we missed out on the most was Gold not going to number one.
Really?
Yeah, it was number two. Casey and the Sunshine Band kept it off.
Really?
Yeah, I think that's to be my the one that kind of gets me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that Casey in the Sunshine is good.
It was a great record.
Yeah, it's a good record. Yeah.
Funny enough, number one in 1999, if you didn't know.
No, it's Michael Jackson.
Now, our first guest today is never one to shy away from his opinions. He currently thinks that the biggest threat to our freedom is not coronavirus, but the woke, politically correct generation. Welcome, Piers Morgan.
Thank you very much.
How are you? Great to have you on the show today.
Great to see you.
So listen, your book has been absolutely everywhere. You can't miss it. Tell us what it's about.
Well, it's a diary of this extraordinary year. It only goes to July, but you could frankly write a book about every month because it's been so insane. But it's also a look at freedom of speech and how before the pandemic, and certainly in the last few months, there's just been this extraordinary explosion in what I call illiberal liberalism. In other words, people pretending to be liberal who actually don't believe in freedom of speech. And they want to tell us how to think, how to eat, how to drink, how to dress, what to laugh at, what movies are acceptable, all this, what's appropriate, what is right. So I put it all in there, wake up. Obviously, I wake people up in the morning, but also to wake everybody up to the fact that if we come out of this pandemic, and we will, we've got to change this kind of sense that people are terrified of expressing opinions, that they can't have a right to a different opinion. You know, we've got students at universities now who will not listen to any speakers who don't fit the woke worldview. Conservative speakers who wouldn't be my politics, but they get banned, they get no platform. This isn't what a democracy should be about. Democracy should be about you and me, toe-to-toe, vehemently disagreeing, you two piling in, you giving your 4 pennies worth, but all of us at the end of it going, you know what, I learned a bit from that debate, let's go and have a pint. That's gone. Nowadays, people are getting cancelled left, right and centre for expressing just opinions about stuff, and it's got completely out of hand.
You know, I think you're absolutely right, because what my worry is that we lose the ability to debate. You know, and everybody, young kids lose the ability to debate because everything is becoming so homogenised, you know. But I love what you did the other day. I loved the projection on the Houses of Commons. I thought that was absolutely superb. And, you know, gave me an idea for mine and Shirley's book, of course. We have to do the same thing.
Of course.
But to be fair, Dad,
what?
I do have you covered.
Why?
I mean, it's less Waterloo and it's more... let's take a look. It's Portaloo. Nice. It works. It works.
You've got to start somewhere.
You start somewhere. You start somewhere.
But it is ridiculous, isn't it? 190 odd days, nearly 200 days, that nobody from the government has appeared on Good Morning Britain.
Why haven't they?
Because they do not have the right answers to tough questions. And they'd rather go on programmes where they don't get a grilling. And I think it's a complete dereliction of their democratic duty. Our viewers, like everybody, like all you guys, we pay their wages. They should come on in a pandemic and they should be expected to have their feet held to the fire because they've hardly covered themselves in glory. So they're watching, stop being gutless little cowards and come on.
I loved what you did at the beginning of the pandemic. I've got to say, you know, you pushed the government, you pushed them, and you made people aware of what was coming. And I actually thought you were the only person out there making people aware of what was coming when everyone was still saying it's not.
I kept trying to warn people because I was watching what was happening in Italy in particular, right on our doorstep. Second best health system in the entire world, Italy, getting completely run over. And we were sleepwalking, if you may remember, in that week in March when there was the Cheltenham Festival, Liverpool were playing Atletico Madrid. Madrid fans were not able to watch their team in Madrid because they were in lockdown, but they could all fly into Liverpool for 2 days of partying, and the death rate from hospitals around Liverpool after that was horrendous. And I just thought it was scandalous what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, look, I mean, throughout all of it, you know, you've rightfully so, you've been really vocal with it, and you know, not just on Good Morning Britain, but also on your social media platforms. But, I mean, having 7.6 million Twitter followers, right, and writing that type of stuff, there are going to be certain people that will end up unfollowing you. Now, one person that I will have to ask about is Donald Trump, because you guys, you had seemingly a very amicable relationship. You guys got on, you did some fantastic interviews. How much did it hurt getting that unfollowed?
It didn't hurt. It didn't surprise me because he followed 45 people at the time. And most of them were family or his businesses. I was the only British person he followed. And I just lost it when he said we should be injecting ourselves with bleach for coronavirus. And right, we all laugh, right? And then you think...
That's real, yeah.
You think that this guy was the president when he said that.
Yeah.
And you think how many people in America may have listened to that and then tried and maybe damaged themselves. And I just thought it was so reckless. So I did a column for the Daily Mail, and the headline was, "Shut the bleep up, Mr. President. Your bat bleep crazy ideas will kill people." And then I got overnight, I woke up and I had all these messages from people, "He's unfollowed you." He's unfollowed you. I was like, "Oh, grow a pair, Donald, grow a pair."
Oh, you know, we've got to talk about life stories as well, because that's such
you were one of my favourite life stories. It was a tremendous day, really. That's why, honestly, and I hope you keep that up the whole show.
No, that's an accolade.
I always remember one comment that I did find amazing, because you did say, I remember you saying that in the show, you said you searched quite long and hard to find a bad story on my old man.
Yeah.
And I was like going, this is it. This is it. I'm going to find out.
You.
I'm going to find out. I'm going to find out. But then nothing.
Well, he gave me one of my greatest moments, which is when I was doing the Sun's pop column, Bizarre, and I got flown out to Rome. And it was Mariella Frostrup was the PR, hilariously. And I ended up in a stretch limousine after your concert in Rome. And there were 2,000 screaming fans rocking this limousine. I'm in the back with you lot thinking, well, they're here for me, boys. Don't get me. And we ended up in a nightclub. I think it was called Gilder or something. Was it
That's
Gilder?
right, yeah, that's right.
And Marillion were there and all these bands. And I was like, I am now living the life of a rock star. Thank you. Because I think you were the one that got me in the limo.
What Piers isn't telling you here is that the roadies put him to bed.
I did hear that.
I was a lightweight compared to this one.
I did hear that. But it's 100th episode of Life Stories as well. I mean, do you have... I mean, who would be, if I had to make you choose, a favourite guest? Because there have been some phenomenal...
Well, I've done a lot of my really great people, but I think it's people... The holy grail for TV interviews is Jack Nicholson, because he hasn't done a TV interview of any kind in 45 years. Isn't that amazing? Wow. He believes the mystique of a movie star is chipped away with every interview you give on TV. He'll do print interviews, but he won't do television. He thinks, when people go to the movies, I want them to think of me as that character. I think he's right. You know, in a way, a lot of movie stars, we see too much of them, we hear too much of them, and then it's quite hard, isn't it, in a movie, to escape into their character. So, again, if Jack's watching...
which he is.
Which he will be. Come on, Jack. Come on, before it's too late for either of us.
Piers, you're also on our screens at the moment in Spitting Image.
Alongside... I've really got to go.
I think you've got a steal of your character.
I love it.
Oh, me too. You know, I would be so flattered if I was on that show.
I always thought
it must be.
Well, I always thought it would be the ultimate badge of honour to be on Spitting Image. And then I saw the puppet. And I'm looking at that grotesque, ugly, fat imbecile. And as my sons put it, Dad, it's uncanny how similar it is.
Oh dear, I mean, but you get to hang out with some of your favourite people in there. You're Meghan Markle, you're good Meghan,
she used to be my friend, and then she met Harry and ghosted me. I mean, it's sad how life plays out.
Happens to the best of us. Happens to the best of us. Piers, thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys,
for coming onto the show today.
And if you haven't woken up, wake up!
That's it. Piers' brand new book, Wake Up Why the World Has Gone Nuts, is out now. But it is Sunday selfie time. Okay, now I love this. We get to find out what you've been up to whilst we're on air. So here's a couple of shout-outs. I've got 8-year-old Finn and 6-year-old Max watching the show from Warrington with their brand new baby brother, Roman. Brand new brother.
Named after you,
Roman, yeah, exactly. Look at that there. I mean, that's a very zen baby. I already got the Buddha out, got the incense sticks. That's very, very zen. Right, let's go to, speaking of, to be fair, speaking of new additions, this is another one to the family. Callum and Katie from Rainford are introducing their new puppy, Reggie, to the show. Very cute. Although I would say you should see Ronnie. Ronnie is not And what could possibly be better than one dog? Well, 3 dogs. Here is a photo from Claire in Sunderland enjoying the show with her dogs Douglas, Rocco, and Sophie. Look at them there. Dogs, for some reason, I don't know if it's they see the grass on our set. This is like the 3rd time we've seen a photo like that, and they're like, grass, walk, go! Yeah. Grass, we're outside, go!
Get the pet cleaner out.
Yeah, but thank you so much for all of those Sunday selfies. We always love them.
Yeah, right. Time for a break, but don't go anywhere, as there's loads to come. Proper chat to diversity duo Jordan and Perri, super vet Noel Fitzpatrick, and the man responsible for this.
You're beautiful.
James Blunt. See you in a few minutes.
You're beautiful.
Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
With us in the studio today, we've got Piers Morgan and the diversity stars, Perri and Jordan.
Yes, and shortly, the man who's almost as famous for his tweets as he is for his tunes. James Blunt is dropping in.
Now, I think our next guest is a true pioneering genius for the unbelievable lengths he goes to save animals. He's a superhero, superhuman, super vet, Noel Fitzpatrick.
Yes.
How you doing, mate? Good to see you.
How are you, you lovely man? And your lovely son. You've actually got a show of your own. My goodness.
So listen, let's get straight to it. How Animals Saved My Life. Tell us what it's about. New book.
So I went into lockdown thinking I was going to write a book about how animals could teach us to be the best version of ourselves. Then lockdown happened, then I fell down the stairs and broke my neck. Then a cat came into my life and grabbed me with his big furry panda paw and pushed me into a whole new realm. So the book is now about how my cat Ricochet, my dog Kira, and all of the other animals that I've ever met have influenced me and hopefully will shine that light back out into the world and save the entire universe with a few beautiful animals.
That is incredible. So you think that animals quite literally have saved your life? I mean, that is so nice. But Dad, you and Noel, you have a lovely connection as well.
Well, we do. I want to make a big public thank you to Noel as well, because Noel recently wrote the foreword to mine and Shirley's book. And I'll tell you why we asked you to do that. It was because we came on your podcast, didn't we? And it was such a lovely experience. It was probably, I will say, the best interview me and Shirley have ever had with anyone.
What?
What?
I literally interviewed you last week. I'm sorry. and also,
I am talking about me and Shirley together. I'm sharp, you know.
Yeah.
Roman, I'm going to interrupt right there because we did have the best time ever, and it was mainly because I wanted to be Martin when I was date Shirley. And that is the reason that they asked me to write the foreword for the book. What they didn't tell me, Roman, that you should know, is this coming out the exact same date as my book.
But what you don't know is that everybody else's book is coming out on exactly the same day.
Don't worry about it. Piers wrote a book. Everyone's got a book at the moment. And is it right that you've also recently treated pet royalty?
As you well know, the only royalty I know is your dad. I treat everybody the same, Roman. No, I talk about this in the book, how animals make us all the same, regardless of whether you are Piers Morgan, or you are Martin Kemp, or you are royalty, or you are somebody who is just somebody who comes into my world and they desperately love their animal, because the dog does not care what you look like, what colour you are, what religion you are, what sexuality you are. They don't care. It's the great leveler, and that's the subject of the book, really, how they can make us think a little bit about how we've become as human beings. And coronavirus has been a big leveler, lockdown has been a big leveler, and animals have been there for us. So rather than talking about any one client or any one person, I want to talk about how animals help us all.
Can I just mention something there, that you really triggered something for me, because I dedicated my book to my manager who died last year, John Ferreter, and he had this wonderful quote which I put with the dedication, and it was, "Be the person your dog thinks you are."
Oh,
and it struck me
lovely.
as such a powerful quote, because if you think about it, your animals, your pets, and particularly dogs, I think, they have a perception of what you are.
Yeah.
So it really resonated with me, what you were saying there.
No, really nice.
Love
Piers,
that.
Thank you, Piers. You are the best person that your dog thinks you are. And that is a wonderful lesson for mankind, because if we could all be who our dog thinks we are, the world would be an amazing place.
I just need to get a dog.
Well, to be fair, I do think
It might be a tiny problem for you, Piers, because you need to convince the dog that you are actually the person that you think you are in your head.
Well, let's hear it for Noel Fitzpatrick, everyone.
And How Animals Saved My Life is out now.
OK, so street dance group Diversity rocketed to fame after famously beating Susan Boyle to be crowned winners of Britain's Got Talent in 2009, something Piers Morgan is claiming is down to him. But after 11 years, they are stronger than ever and about to go back out on tour. Jordan and Perri, thank you so much for coming onto the show today, guys.
No, thanks for having us.
It's so nice to have you here. I mean, can you believe it's been 11 years since Britain's Got Talent?
No. First of all, I want to thank Piers for being here as well, because as he always says, it's down to him.
But do you think that's right? I mean, when Piers gave those comments...
When he says it, it really hits me how wrong he is. No, he's not. I'm joking.
They weren't this cheeky at the time.
We wasn't.
Begging for my support.
Does it feel like it's been that long? Because that's an incredible thing. I mean, it must just have been a whirlwind.
No, the minute you say it, the minute you say 11 years, it's not. I feel like I've been saying 10 years for a while now as well. You know what I mean? I feel like, but
For about a year.
For about a year.
Yeah.
But no, it's nuts. It's only when you're here and you look back and you're like, wow, like we've done crazy amounts. You know, so it's wicked to still be about.
I mean, do people, you know, still in the street? I've got to ask, how many people on a regular, Perri, ask you to do a flip?
Oh, it is.
I genuinely would want to know that. Like, if you're out, I don't know,
It
just
annoys
at
me.
Sainsbury's,
Yeah.
To be
it
fair.
must do. It must do.
Yeah, let's just say, don't do it.
Yeah.
Because-
You can make a public announcement down to camera one
Yeah.
there. Just tell them, please don't ask me to do flips.
Guys, just don't do it. Hurts my feelings. I don't live in Neverland. I've grown up now. All right? So,
Give me 20 quid and I'll ask him, and if he says no, I'll tell Ash. So everyone's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
I mean, you know, with BGT, you mentioned him there. Ashley, he stepped in for Simon in the latest series as well with that incredible performance. Really an important piece supporting Black Lives Matter. It was amazing watching it. It was a fantastic bit of telly. It was a landmark piece of telly. But the response that it got, I mean, how did you guys as a collective feel seeing all of that?
I feel like it was obviously it was a bit of a shock because in the 11 years I don't think we've ever really done anything controversial. You know, people. I feel like no matter what walk of life you're from, people used to enjoy watching, turn on the TV, seeing the kid with an Afro backflip, and it's like, well, hey, there was nothing controversial about it.
Yeah.
But when you make, I suppose, a statement about something you experience in everyday life, or something you believe to be right or wrong, or something that people don't necessarily feel comfortable with, you've got to expect a reaction. And I think the fact it came from somewhere where you really don't expect it, us or BGT. I think it was a bit of a shock to people. So getting the reaction we did, in a weird way, initially, it was tough. I'm not going to lie, especially for Ash. You know, he held a coat in. I mean, wow, it was intense. But I feel like the negative voices in the room initially are always the loudest. You know, and the amount of people that complained, there was a lot, but a fraction of the people who watched it. And when we're out and about in the street, me and Pell. We're walking down the street. I remember it literally 2 days after it aired, and some guy come running out of a shop. He was serving a customer. He came running out of the shop, but really emotional, thanked us for doing the dance and how much it meant to him and his kids. We have teachers saying they're showing it in school, putting petrol in at the car. Normally it's saw you, mate. Is he grown up yet? Normally that's the thing. At the moment, it's I loved what you did. No one's been negative in real life. It's just been either trolls or keyboard warriors. That's kind of been the extent.
People are more annoyed about what you did in that 20 seconds than they were about what you were actually depicting in that 20 seconds. They're the problem, not you. That's the bottom line.
Thank you, Piers. Thanks, man.
I was proud of you, honestly.
It was an amazing
respect.
But guys, thank you so much for being here today. And we have got to take a break, but we'll be chatting more to Jordan and Perri when we come back. Plus, we're going to take a look at the TV shows we should be watching on The Box and on Catch Up. We will see you in a few moments. Stay there.
Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best. Perri and Jordan are here, and shortly the wittiest pop star and reluctant social media star, James Blunt, is dropping in.
Yeah, now before the break we were talking to Perri and Jordan from Diversity, and guys, we were talking about, you guys, it's been 11 years. I mean, circumstances over the last, couple of months has brought you even closer together. You've sold out over your time, this is mad, 9 UK tours, and you're about to go on a 10th. Tell us about 2021 Connected.
This is where we go, all right, Ash, what do we do?
This is the part genuinely where we get nervous, because I would say every year, it started out, oh yeah, Perri does a few flips. Then it was Perri, we start throwing him higher. Then we started doing more illusions and adding more difficult tricks and this and that. Last tour, Ash submerged himself in a tank for 5 minutes holding his breath. Perri flipped around holding fire, and there it is, there it is. And I set myself on fire. So accidentally, let me just add.
How did you accidentally set yourself on fire?
I was dancing. We have literally these swords made of fire, and I put it behind my back, and then I was like, oh gosh, it's really hot. And I was like, it'll be fine. And essentially, basically, we have 2 versions of the jacket. One's been sprayed with this stuff, so it's not flammable. I had the wrong jacket on, so.
Oh my God!
So. We've there's the fire flip as well. It's been crazy. So when it gets to Connected, I know that every year Ash keeps pushing and pushing and pushing. So I have no idea what's going to happen.
It's at the stage where I'd rather not ask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably try and combine all 3.
No,
set yourself on fire while you flip with fire underwater in a tank. He's probably going to try and push something out like that.
I mean, your connection with Ashley, obviously, would be a connection, but it is so close as a group. Do you really see him as that leader? Because it comes across so much so that he is that.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Ash was my first ever dance teacher. You know what I mean? So I was 10 years old. I didn't really know what I was going to do at that. Of course you don't. But you know what I mean? I was trying to find a hobby, found dance. Ash was there, and ever since then, I've been taking on what is now my career with Ash at the forefront, almost making the decisions, and I kind of go off what he does, so he's always just been. I
mean, to be fair, I don't really like him, but I kind of need him for my career, so I stick with him for now, but fingers crossed.
Yeah. But listen, on those dance tours, I mean, you've got to be extremely fit to do that sort of stuff. But what about injuries? What happens? Do you take a medic with you, doctor? Do you? Are you ready to be subbed at any time?
Yeah, we have a physio, but he loves Jewelled, doesn't he?
Oh God, I'm consistently injured. There's never a time I'm not injured, and it's weird as well because I do I'm not a small guy, right? One time I jumped off stage, landed on someone else and broke my ankle and they were fine. It's true story. It's always me. I always getting injured. But in terms of subbing people out and stuff like that, sometimes there just isn't time. So you get injured. There was a show, Perri got injured partway through and had to go off, and there was a gap. So I did the flip, and you kind of just know what's coming when and how it's going to happen, and then you're just calling out to each other, and you kind of just make it work. Because, you don't really have a choice. And luckily, where we work together so much, we know that if Perri normally, if he goes down, we know, Mitch will probably come in and this and that.
Is it true that the mums come on tour as well?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Everyone is actually involved. So, Jordan Ash's mum is our manager. She's there all the time. My mum comes on tour. She's, helping in wardrobe,
Sam and Mitch's mum.
Throwing sweaty clothes. Sam and Mitch's mum's there.
Gosh. It's literally 5 or 6 mums at the front of the bus. So can you imagine, you're there with all your mates, you're chatting, they're is it lads on tour?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, mate, you're playing Monopoly at the back and all you hear is, can you keep it down? While they're at the front with their spritzers, mate. They have more of a tour than we do.
I really love that, because when Spandau first started off, we used to take our parents everywhere, and it was the highlight of their life to see their kids on stage. So listen, respect for you for doing that. I love it.
Thank you.
Also, while you're here, we've got to talk about the Kiss FM breakfast show. How's that going? Early in the mornings.
Hey, listen.
How are you getting on with the early
Nobody's watching either of them. They're all watching the telly.
It's good fun, man. Roman knows, Piers knows. the time you kind of... I never get used to the alarm going off at that time, but slowly but surely, it's starting to get to a point now where, like, by the time I get into the studio, I feel fine. The first few weeks when we started, it was like, it would get to about 7:30, we're halfway through the show, and I'd be like, oh, we've been on air. We've actually been on air this entire time, that's awkward. But, you know, it's so much fun.
We kind of turned up, pretend we know what we're doing.
And that's that.
I'll tell you the thing, and I don't know, Piers, if you agree, but I think anyone that does that early morning thing, when it comes to breakfast, it's very scary to not get yourself what's known as the breakfast belly. Because it is so tempting to eat everything that comes into contact.
I do eat everything. I have about 4 breakfasts a day.
No, but it's true. It's true.
Can I ask you guys, have you ever worked out exactly how much money I've made you?
about 5 croissants worth.
Hey, well, Jordan, Perri, thank you so much for coming onto the show today. And you can see the guys with the rest of Diversity on tour next year.
Now, if you're looking for something to entertain you this week, we have some great recommendations for you in...
our best picks. Yeah, so let's start with the coldest man on TV. No, not Piers Morgan. Olaf. Once Upon a Snowman on Disney+. The previously untold origins of Olaf, the summer-loving snowman who melted hearts in Frozen. Yeah, very cute. Once Upon a Snowman follows Olaf's footsteps as he comes to life and searches for his identity. Take a look.
I can talk. I can juggle. No, I cannot. Anybody missing a snowman? I got too confident there.
Welcome to Wandering Orkins.
Hello, fuzzy man bear.
What do you need?
A sense of self. I kind of look like a Fernando. Or a Trevor.
Not so sure about that.
Yeah! I'm off to find my name.
Very good.
Oh, that looks amazing, doesn't it?
Very good.
All right, I've got one for you. This is the Emily Atack Show on ITV2.
Yeah.
Now, you might know Emily from The Inbetweeners or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, but I didn't know she was a great stand-up comedian as well.
Yeah?
So this is her show. She's got some sketches on it, some stand-up, some skits, proper old-fashioned kind of comedy, right? Let's take a look.
Are you all familiar with bottomless brunch? Yeah. So cosmopolitan, love it. But bottomless brunch is basically the early start to a great night out. It's half breakfast, half lunch, half booze. Now, the rules are you have to down your body weight in mimosas so long as you shove the odd bit of sourdough in your face. If it was a game show.
Hi, I'm Holly Willoughby, and welcome to my new show. We gave our contestants 3 hours to drink as much as they could whilst eating scrambled eggs.
Really good. Perri, Jordan, what would you like to recommend?
I'm going to go with Mo Gilligan's Black, British and Funny. So we had a chat with Mo Gilligan, right? It sounds like such an awesome show. We absolutely loved it when we checked it out. Basically, Mo Gilligan kind of gives us an insight into like the black comedy circuit. You see some of the people that have really inspired him, and just hearing all of their stories and seeing how it's all developed and their experiences, it's just wicked. Definitely check it out.
Piers, got a recommendation
I'm
for
going to
us?
go for a show hosted by a very handsome, intelligent, witty, warm, funny, all-round good guy, really. It's Piers Morgan's life story.
Piers is back, and let's take a look at him in action.
20 years old is a tough age to lose your father, especially when you're very close to him. Did you get a chance to say what you wanted to say to him?
No, I didn't. That's why I feel sometimes that my anger comes out when I think that he missed the best things in my life. I mean, he never saw the knighthood. Everything like that, that he was the one that was right behind me and really kept me on the tracks. And so for me, it was a horrible, horrible loss.
Oh, wow. And don't forget, you can catch up with that on the ITV Hub. It is time to take a break, but stay right where you are because we're chatting to the brilliant James Blunt in just a few minutes. Stay there. Welcome back to Martin and Roman's Sunday Best.
Piers Morgan and Jordan and Perri been here all morning.
Yes, but now it's time for our final guest. Once upon a time, James Blunt's most enduring legacy was a pop song about a girl he saw in the underground and a nation's worth of abuse. But with the invention of Twitter, James found his real voice and demonstrated why he is still one of the funniest pop stars on the planet. James Blunt, welcome to the show!
How you doing, James?
Hello. James, I mean, this is the first book that you've ever released. I mean, what has taken so long, and what can you tell us about it?
Well, I saw that Piers Morgan had a book out, and I thought that the nation deserved better. What I can tell you about the book is, like Piers's, it's a diary, and like Piers's, it's a year in the life of a complete and utter Blunt. But we're going through the second wave of the virus, and I know that some people are short of loo roll, and so it's specifically designed to be read on the loo.
Very good, very good.
How did you choose what tweets to put in the book?
Well, because it is specifically designed to be read on the loo, they're really just the most offensive ones, of which there are a ton of them. But really, I used the tweets through this diary to tell a story in the life of a reluctant social media poster.
Yeah, I mean, so basically, the book itself is filled with, I mean, your own tweets, it's filled with your replies to tweets.
Yeah, and Piers does get a viewing in there somewhere along the line.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, my zingers back at you are always funnier than your ones, that's for sure.
I'm not going to lie, there's not many that are actually Sunday morning friendly for me to read out. Is there any that spring to mind for you that were your proudest work?
No, I can't say them on Sunday morning. I really can't.
I do absolutely love the fact. I think we saw one recently that said, James Blunt, good God, he's had his 15 minutes of fame, now he's gone. To which you replied, it was only a 3-minute and 35-second song.
James, have you and Piers ever got into kind of Twitter beef?
Yes, when he launched his book the other day, he billed it as the biggest UK showdown since Oasis and Blur, to which clearly I'm Liam. He's Damon, if he's lucky.
And in fact, even beyond that, Piers was then forwarding me messages from people asking, "Who is James Blunt?" And,
that was my favourite tweet. Someone said, "Who is James Blunt, Piers?" And I just put CC James Blunt.
You have to listen though. That doesn't mean that Piers's followers are ignorant. It just means they may be a little bit out of touch.
or they have very good musical taste, James. It could be that.
Maybe. I'm looking forward to your first album.
I mean, you are currently meant to be on your 7th world tour, which obviously had to be postponed to next year. I mean, have you actually enjoyed some of the time off?
I mean, genuinely, I've been really lucky. It was really sad for me and my touring band and crew that we had to cancel the tour halfway through. We were in Germany, and it was amazing watching it sweep through Europe and realising, OK, that the wheels were coming off the tour and all sent home. I think, what it's really showing is that we're not all in this together, really. There are the haves, who are lucky enough to be able to go home and spend time with their family, and I'm one of those. And it's been fantastic. But I realise it's been incredibly hard for lots of other people who haven't had jobs and have struggled, and so it's been an amazing, lucky year. I've really felt very fortunate for it.
But you've been isolating in Ibiza, haven't you?
Yeah, it's been hard work. Ibiza's hard work, obviously.
Well, you have been with your mother-in-law. That made it a little harder.
I did do, Piers is right, I did do lockdown with my mother-in-law, which was 68 days, 11 hours and 36 minutes.
But I mean, presumably, obviously, the nightlife hasn't been the same this summer as well, because you've got your own nightclub, isn't that right?
I do. Blunties is the only nightclub that's legally been open this year, and even the government's restrictions of only 10 people haven't really bothered either of us in there.
Can me and Roman get on the guest list, even though Piers won't be able to?
It kind of depends on your dancing. How do you dancing? If you give us a shot, maybe.
Honestly, James, we've been through this, mate. Honestly, his one is just fingers in pockets here, and then just peace sign up there, and he goes like that. It is awful. It is awful. Honestly, it is terrible.
Hey, you got it. See, I'm not the only one.
Yeah, it's not what you want to see. James, before you go today, I understand that you have a story that relates to someone we were speaking about earlier on, to share, because On this day in 1998, Cher was #1. Now, what is this I hear about you and Cher?
Remember when you met Cher in America, James?
I do. You don't have to remind me, thank you. I was saving it for my second book. But, blown that. I met Cher at an amazing event. Bill Clinton was there, and Jack Nicholson was there. A whole bunch of people, incredible people, and you know, in amongst all of these people, Cher was introduced to me, and she said, "Oh my God, it is such a pleasure to meet you. I am such a fan of yours." And she spoke, you know, with such enthusiasm, and I was thrilled. I was totally blown away by how you know, excited she was to meet me. And she walked off after a few minutes, and I thought, wow, you know, I can't wait to tell my mates about Cher as a fan. And she came back 5 minutes later, running over and said, "God, I'm so sorry. I thought you were someone else."
You know who she thought it was?
Why didn't you tell me that?
I thought you were Piers Morgan.
James, thank you so much for coming onto the show today, and we'll let you get back to it. Let's hear it for James Blunt, everyone. And don't forget, James's book, How to Be a Complete and Utter Blunt Diary of a Reluctant Social Media Sensation, is out now. Okay, it is game time, but as always, we need a judge to decide the winner. Now, unfortunately for me, it is the turn of the most biased judge we've ever had. All series, is there any point in me even being here? Granny Annie, hello!
Hello.
Who have we got here then?
This is Betty.
Oh, Betty. And is Betty as biased as you, Annie?
No, she probably isn't actually.
fair.
She's very independent.
Yeah, very independent.
She's used for what? Is she a Shih Tzu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Well, Annie, thank you so much for joining us today. I think basically you'll see. Basically, we've lost the game already, lads. She loves my dad. Right. There's no chance.
No, this isn't true. Let's do it.
Right, it's time for our last game called Picture Perfect. Okay, so Picture Perfect. For this game, we've got an easel and a pen. Our guests have a list of music artists and have 45 seconds to draw as many of them as they can. Me and my dad have to guess who they are. Now, to be clear, Piers, boys, you are not drawing portraits of the people. You are literally going to have to sketch clues to their names. Okay, the winner is the person with the most correct answers. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, I think we're ready.
All right, Piers, you're with me. Roman, you're with Perri and Jordan.
Yeah.
You got 45 seconds on the clock.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
All right.
Come on. Here we go. Come on. Take the lid off first, pal. Let's go.
Go.
Is that time yet?
Come on, we got sunshine,
Beach
sand.
Boys, Beach Boys.
Yes. The Beach Boys. Yes. Well done. We are on fire. Right, next time. Here we go. Very good. Okay, cars by Snow Patrol. Police. The police.
The police.
Sting. Yes. Hang on. We've got stuff on the Just draw it in.
Sick man. Sick in the mud.
Ballerina. Swan Lake.
Spandau Ballet.
Just came out.
One more.
Bad hand.
Bad hand. Oh, well done.
It was Beyonce.
Beyonce, put a ring on it.
I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, put a ring on it.
Can
I say, you've worked well there, because the production value, because those images were drawn weeks ago. So actually, what you're looking at there is a drawing from James Haskell, the Spice Girls, believe it or not.
Spice Girls, yeah.
He was trying to write his own name.
Yeah. Very good. Right, so we've done ours. Piers, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go.
So 45 seconds, sir, on the clock. Your time starts in 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go.
Circle, sunshine. Sunshine.
I mean, that is a sun.
Come on,
Yes,
come on, Box.
Talk. Dad, keep talking to him.
Well, it's the sunshine.
No, it's a creature.
It's the Beatles.
Yes. Sweet man.
Happy gravestone.
No.
Grave robbers. It's It's a house. It's
Right.
Queen. It's Queen.
Yes!
Right, you can't
It's a house. It's traffic lights.
No. Lighthouse family, obviously. My Beetle wasn't good enough.
Piers, at the end of that, I'm going to have to get you to sign that Beetle, because that
really not a good drawing.
That is going to sell.
It's you to find out which team are the winners.
Granny Annie, who was it?
Roman won that one.
Oh, yes!
Sorry, mate, it's my fault.
Oh, my God, Annie, I love you. Oh,
I know you do.
Oh, I can't believe it. You made me very happy.
Shocker.
And Granny Annie, on that note, right, you know what? I'm feeling good now. I'm feeling confident because you've lost the bias, OK? As this is the final show of the series, please, Granny Annie, reveal who is the series winner. My dad or me?
It is Martin. He's gone for that.
So that's your lot for today, but if you fancy watching this all over again or you want to watch any of the show, you can catch up now on the ITV Hub.
Are you kidding? Are you actually kidding?
What?
It's about 12:02. Honestly, that's a joke, that's a joke. Thanks so much to our guests. It's here for Granny Annie, Noel Fitzpatrick, James Blunt and Piers Morgan.
And also thanks to Perri and Jordan.
Yes. Listen, it's made our Sundays the best ever, having your company for the last 22 weeks. It's going to be a shame to say goodbye. Hope you have a fantastic Christmas as well and all that good stuff. We hope you have enjoyed the show as much as we have making it. I'm so pleased that you could join us. Until then, bye for now. See you.